At this year's Berlin Critics Week, the debate following the tripping program opened with several definitions of its own title.
On the one hand, it describes a deep immersion into a drug-induced experience or a specific mood, but it also means to stumble, to be disrupted on the way.
So, how does tripping apply to these two films? Detours takes us on a trip through Moscow, following a treasure man as he stashes drugs across the city. With a strict form that mirrors CCTV,
when those technologies were developed, they were for military purposes.
The film exposes the widespread surveillance in Russia, while also demonstrating small moments of rebellion using the same digital tools.
So they are appropriating these spaces like virtually and then like physically.
Nosferatu First Bite is a trip through time and space, refiguring the past of artist Oba and showing us the moment Christopher Columbus turned him into a vampire.
Welcome to my new world.
Part documentary and part stoner film, it links the parasitic forces of vampirism and colonialism.
It's never consistent, you know? It's like, are they dead? Are they immortal? Like, how can they die? Is it garlic? Is it a steak?
It's like this whispered thing in the shadows that everyone kind of knows is true, but no one knows is true.
And while all of this is happening, Oba is just trying to renew his green card. Each film depicts acts of resistance, and this is how I envision the program's title, Tripping. For me, it's not about tripping on or through something, it's more active than that. When you trip someone, you cause them to topple over. You disrupt their previous state. It's not a power trip, but tripping power, asserting agency and challenging authority and bureaucracy. Detours and Nosferatu First Bite both call attention to their own creation. Could this be another way of tripping and toppling power structures? How can filmmaking itself be an act of resistance? The debate participants were quick to reject any utopian ideal of filmmaking as a magically defiant form. For one thing, making a film is vampiric. It draws a lot more than blood out of its subjects, taking their thoughts, words, and images. The journey of a film from production to distribution is a trip that ends with tight 90-minute festival panels featuring one or two people speaking on behalf of everybody involved. For Nosferatu, we met two filmmakers. With Detours, just a producer. Could these people be considered vampires? Is Berlin Critics Week a vampire? How much of this whole process is ethical?
I mean, is ethical filmmaking possible?
This is a common question that won't be answered anytime soon, and it's a shame that the topic of ethics only came up in the last 5 minutes of the debate.
That's a loaded question.
Answer one word, yes or no, right now.
With all this talk about tripping power, about resisting the established authority and imagining something new, I'd like to pose my own question. The past 2 years have changed film festivals forever, but many of us are still thinking the same way. So, what would happen if we tried out a fundamentally different mode of thinking? Something more active, more loose, and maybe even more fun. In other words, how can video essays like this one trip film criticism as we know it?